Welcome back to the Biz Show. A lot of you guys have been asking me where have you been, but as you can see, I'm back like I've never been, So a lot of you guys have been asking me where I've been, but I'm back, and a lot of guys have been asking me also, how did you start your career in cybersecurity? And a lot of people are gatekeeping. A lot of influencers are talking about other things like certifications. You have to get in help desk, but I decided, you know what? I'm gonna spill the beans and I'm gonna give you my story and tell you how I got in this journey of cybersecurity. So I went to college, and then when I was in college in my third year, I started my internship. And my internship was actually in something different. I was in a department called operations training. I was helping them with virtual reality. So I was helping them implement virtual reality and augmented reality for operations training in the plants, but I wanted to be in the IT team because I was studying information systems. I talked to one of the VPs at the company and told them, or rather expressed my interest in starting a career in cybersecurity, but they told me you can't just come into cybersecurity without any prior knowledge in IT. So they said, what we would like to do is put you in a rotational program whereby you're gonna come in and start in IT support, and then you're gonna go to like PC management, IT infrastructure, learn a little bit of with the cloud team and the networking team, and then that rotation is gonna take about 9 months, and then after those 9 months, you can join the cyber team. So I graduated December, and then January that of the next year, I started working in the IT department. So I worked in help desk for about 3 months. So all I did there is set up PCs for the users, download or install wherever they needed, whether it's a SolidWorks or Advaris and any other application you could think of, depending on who is using the computer. So for like SolidWorks, that was for engineers, and people who did business would download like SAP for them. So I did that for like 3 months, and then after that, I moved to the PC management team. So there we pretty much would register devices to like Intune and just make sure they have the right updates for the softwares. And then I was supposed to do the program with the networking team, but I only was there for like a week because I think they were too busy, and so I didn't really get time to train with them. So I moved to the IT infrastructure team, worked there for like 2 months, and then I moved to the cyber team. So when I moved to the cyber team, this is when now I started learning more about like security operations, incident response, threats and vulnerability management. So I was able to learn all these things while being in the cybersecurity team. And then this is when I started taking certifications. So I took the CompTIA Security Plus, and this was able to help me learn the fundamentals of cybersecurity itself. And then I figured, let me add more to it. So I did a Network Plus so that I could understand some networking, especially just being able to understand how the OSI model works. And from there, now I started taking up more responsibilities. Now I started learning more about EDR, which is the endpoint detection and response, whereby here you can be able to create like prevention policies. You can be able to create exclusions for different kind of softwares and folders, programs, and all that kind of good stuff. Um, During this time, I was focusing on other things like learning how to do documentation in cybersecurity, and my team gave me a role whereby I was in charge of like their MDM, which is not the MDM, sorry, their MDR, which is a managed detection and response platform. So all I could do is respond to any tickets that were coming through the MDR, triaging, being the first point of contact if it's a critical incident. So, and then the guys from the MDR would call me if there was a critical incident, and then I could handle it. But if it wasn't, it was like a medium, I could just handle it and check whether it's malicious or if it's an account compromise. I could do that. The simple things you do is like reset the password, revoke the sessions. So I did that. So that was close to like till like my completing a year and a half. So once I did that, I actually started grasping my daily activities, and I felt like I was being comfortable with my job because I was learning a lot in my area, and I was being proficient in the tools we were using. So after that, that's when I started thinking like, hey, let me put myself out there in the job market and see what's out there for me. So I started applying to different kind of jobs, whether it's a security engineer, whether it's a cybersecurity analyst, So I applied, and then I started doing some interviews. So during that time, I was able to understand like what are they looking for, and what are some of the things I need to do in order to be better in my career. So I understood like it's not about the certifications, it's about understanding the tools you're using. If you're using endpoint detection and response, for example, you're using CrowdStrike, make sure you know the ins and outs of CrowdStrike, because they're going to ask you those questions in the interview. They're going to ask you, tell us some of the things you do with CrowdStrike. So, I mean, if you just put that in the resume and you really don't know it, or you just know the surface level, they're going to ask you questions just to make sure like you know what you're telling them. So I started I started working on my tooling in a better way and just making sure I know the ins and outs of the tool. And once I came back and started interviewing, that's when I was able to get my second job. So with my second job now, I was doing the same thing I was doing in my first job, but now we started using a different set of tools. So like it's the same concept. So like I'm not gonna mention names, but like the endpoint detection and response tool was different, the managed detection and response tool was different, the vulnerability management tool was also different. We were also using a different tool for threat intelligence. So the only thing that was constant was we were using Azure, the Azure suite, which includes like Intune, Enter ID. So, and I think that's standard because any company you go to, they're gonna be using Active Directory. So all I'm just saying is don't chase certifications. Just make sure, just get the ones that are being required for the entry level job, because all you need to do is get your foot into the door, and once you do that, you can expand your horizons, and the world is on your palm, because you can go wherever you want, because there's a lot of areas you can cover in cybersecurity. Some people want to do governance, risk, and compliance. Some people want to be incident responders. Some people want to be SOC analysts. Some people want to be like the SOC analyst. All you do is analyzing and monitoring work and looking at logs, events, and once you're a security engineer, now that's different, because now you're designing secure networks. So you have to provide designs, and same thing for like an architect. So but to be an architect, you need more years of experience, and pretty much that's more of like my journey. I know it's short, but I hope I was able to help you guys with some of the information about how I started my career in cybersecurity. If you have any questions, please pin them down below, and I'll be answering them. Yeah. Thank you so much, and I'll see you later. Bye. Yeah. That's it. Like another video.